Do you feel overwhelmed by all the possibilities of chess study? Well, no wonder, because there is just so much to do and you don't have that much time. If you follow the advice online, you should study the 100 endgames you must know, have an opening repertoire for both white and black, study every world champion's best games, train tactics every single day, learn your pawn structures, play longer time control games, and at the end of it, do spaced repetition on everything you've learned. And no matter how hard you try and how much to do, there's always this subtle feeling of guilt that follows you. It's that thought that pops up in your mind when you're lying on your couch, when you're thinking, oh, I could and maybe should do some more chess study now. And here is where it gets even worse. The more you learn about chess, the more you understand how much more there is to learn. So you finish one task and you realize there are 5 more coming up. If that resonates, this video is for you. And if you're new here, I'm Grandmaster Noel and I help serious chess players improve their chess the honest way. So let me be honest right here. I don't have a magic pill. You might actually get upset at times when watching this video. Because if you want to get rid of that feeling of overwhelm, of that feeling of guilt, of that feeling of anxiety of always having to study more, you need to take some hard decisions. And that might be uncomfortable for a moment. Believe me, I know too well what I'm talking about. When I turned pro in 2015, I wanted to prove to everyone that I made the right decision. So my natural instinct was to grind harder than anybody I know. I started with a plan that was waking up at 7 a.m. and right away I went for a run, and then it was chess training for the whole day. And my plan finished at 10 p.m. where I wrote down I will read an hour of not just any book, but actually Kasparov's best games, so I can then fall asleep. It burned me out, made me miserable, and it didn't even deliver very good results. Then 2 years into my professional chess career, this decision was taken away from me. I hit my head, suffered a traumatic brain injury, and that's where I had to do things differently. Instead of just grinding all day, every day, I had very limited time and I needed to think, okay, how do I get the most out of this very limited time? And the only way to do that is by choosing what is truly essential and leaving out everything else, no matter how good and interesting they sound. Now, here is the distinction that matters the most. This is not just about cutting out stuff that is obviously bad. This is about cutting out stuff that is good, but not absolutely essential. Because even if you look at the things that are generally good for your chess, you just don't have enough time to even study half of that. And this is coming from a Grandmaster who spent a lot of his childhood and 5 years of his adult life playing chess professionally. So that means for you at home with maybe 1 to 2 hours every day and not having studied chess as a kid, this is even much more true. So this is about leaving out what's good and what might be generally fun for the really essential things. The goal is to only study things that are so essential that if you leave them out, you will stagnate and get stuck. In other words, the solution against the overwhelm and the fear of missing out is to truly become a chess minimalist. This is the decision that I mentioned is hard at first. But once you make that decision, it can set you free. Oliver Burkeman writes about this in 4,000 Weeks. Our anxiety about time doesn't come from having too little of it. It comes from refusing to accept that we'll never have enough time for everything we want to do. And once you accept that, something shifts. Because now you can finally choose what matters and leave out the rest. Because here's the thing. This is not about nodding along and realizing, understanding what you should do, but not taking action. Because when you don't choose, deliberately, someone else will choose for you. Just like in any other area of your life, the things that make a difference in the long run are not the easy peasy, cool and fun stuff. These are the hard, difficult things. And if you don't commit to them from the get-go, someone will come along and sell you a funnier, easier and way cooler stuff. And it might even work short term, but long term, we all know you'll get stuck. So you might think, okay, I get it, Noel. I need to choose. But what do I need to choose? What are the things that actually matter? I'm glad you're asking. Because when you break it down, there's not that much that you need to improve your chess. 4 things to be exact. Number 1, tactics. Solve them daily and solve them the right way. Number 2, play games well, with good focus, a practical mindset, and this is super important, analyze every single game, especially the upsetting ones, the ones that you are losing. And don't just rely on a random AI analysis, actually dig deep, try to understand why you made mistakes and how you can improve that in future games. Number 3, learn the absolute minimum knowledge you need to reach the next level. And here's something that you likely don't want to hear. If you're anything like other improvers, you already have way too much knowledge and too little skills. So learning more isn't the right thing to do. It's about getting the skills, applying what you already know. Point number 4, test your decision making under pressure. Solve hard positions that aren't only tactics. Write down your decision making, commit to a move, and then learn from how you should have thought about this position and what decision was right. And that's it. Notice that acquiring knowledge is only a very small part of these 4 points. And if you don't carefully choose, you will slowly drift back into just acquiring more and more knowledge that overwhelms you because you don't know how to apply it in your own games. And once you commit to those 4 points, everything else becomes noise. Or as Nir Eyal puts it in Indistractable, anything other than what you've decided to do with your time is, by definition, a distraction. And a quick note here, if you wonder how to do point number 4, testing your decision making under pressure, you can go have a look in the link below this video. You can get a free sample test of my real chess training, which is just 6 positions chosen by me. You'll have 45 minutes. You need to take decisions for every of these 6 positions. Then you'll get a video walkthrough of how I would like you to think about these decisions and how you can think better the next time. So if you're curious to give this a try, you can get a free sample test with the link below the video. So doing these 4 points probably isn't the most exciting thing you've ever heard. It's way more exciting to get promised winning 200 points in 30 days like you see often on YouTube nowadays. But here is what happens if you commit to being a chess minimalist. You stop dreaming of improvement and start living it. You'll slowly get rid of the guilt of having to do more. And what many students of mine realize, you'll get less anxious when you play games. You can also look forward to studying chess again because it's not super overwhelming, but you can just have a very clear plan and you know what you do. There's less second guessing and hopefully there's less buying random courses just because of FOMO and strong marketing. And yes, it will be difficult. Yes, it will be hard. That's the whole point of training the right way. But when you do it, you will actually improve. And probably you will spend less time on chess, but actually see more results. See ya in the next video.